Okay, well, Umbrella Academy Season 2. Back when they went back to the 1960s, man. I don't want to say that Season 2 is a better season than Season 1. If you were to tell me that, I wouldn't disagree with you. But for me, as a season, as a whole, I personally enjoyed Season 1 a tad bit better, and I think, like, overall, it's kind of better than Season 2. But I feel like season two it helps season two in a way because there's a lot more factors in this season than there was in the previous season. And I mean, outside of the ending, I'll talk about it. I definitely enjoyed the ending of season one much better than I enjoyed the ending of season two. I'll go over that in a minute. But there was a lot more heartwarming scenes in this season, and I feel like that's helped due to how good season one was and how the again like the connect how the relationships in the family were built up. Like the scene with Klaus, Allison, and Vanya. Like it was such a fun, joyous, heartwarming scene to see the three siblings interacting with each other. All drunk and stuff, and like it was such a fun it was such a fun time, honestly, man. And honestly, what also helped was the fact that Vanya wasn't depressed this season. She lost her memories in the first episode, so she felt a lot more free this season. And as she was regaining her memories bit by bit and how she was, interacting with the siblings, she felt more alive and she felt more happy, than she was in season one. And yeah, man, just a good season, man. Just a damn good season. Two good seasons in a row. I can't really say much about that. I will kind of go over some things. First I'll go over the ending. I definitely like the season one ending much more than I like the season two ending. I thought speaking of characters, I don't really like Lila, to be honest with you. Like not I'm not saying she's a bad character. It's just I just don't like her. Like the way she manipulates Diego, and this is just me talking as a fan. I'm not trying to like I'm a fan through and through. Like, but I'm not trying to point out any flaws here. Like this is just me. This is just me as a fan of the family. I've grown to love the family. I've grown to love all the siblings in the family. Well, I feel like I think I like Luther the least because he never technically apologized. Like, does he ever apologize? I think he did, like in the barn scene with Vanya, but he never genuinely apologizes for the way that he treated Vanya. And yeah, I feel like that was a shitty thing for Luther to do. But yeah, Lila, the girl, the unbiological daughter of the handler. Um, I don't really like her. I don't like the way that she manipulates Diego. Again, I'm not throwing any shots at her character whatsoever, or the character writing that she has, and I'm gonna say that again because I know people are gonna whine in the comments. But all I'm saying is that I personally I don't like her. Basically, yeah. There are moments of interactions that I like with her. I do love I like the interactions between her and Five. I think they're pretty witty, and I would have liked to have seen more of that. I feel like they were definitely one of my favorite dynamics, and definitely new dynamics, in season two. Um, so there's that. I also don't like the season or the ending of the season because so Lila basically finds out that Five murdered her parents, and then she starts to recollect herself and tell herself that she has to kill Five for killing her parents, etc., etc. Same old shit revenge trope that we've all seen before. And then he goes on to kill or to try and kill Five. I love the fight between her and Five though. By the way, and in the middle of the season, I think it was in episode three or four or five, possibly. I forgot which one, but I like the fight between them. Again, I love the chemistry between both of the actors. I feel like they do a really good job there. Um, Oh, I'm trying to think, man. Like, I feel like it happens a little too quick, you know? Like with Lila blaming the death of her parents on Five because, he killed them. And then Lila, again, obviously, which makes sense, she tries to kill Five. And then she starts to pull back, she starts to hold off. And in the moment, I kind of don't like that because like like dog, bro, cuz like you're going to kill this nigga, right? You have the full intent to kill this nigga, right? Like you really hate Five. Like she's never liked the kid, to be honest with you. So her holding back, it kind of makes her little quote unquote revenge plot a little too unbelievable. Like if you actually wanted to kill him, you would have went for the kill shot regardless of what anyone else thinks. If you actually hated him, that you would have actually went through with your murderous intent. And again, like sometimes the talk no jutsu can be done right under the right circumstances. Like for example, I would say talk no jutsu, and I'm just gonna reference anime for any anime watchers out there. I'm sure most of my viewers are anime watchers and analyzers and all that. I feel like Mob Psycho 100 and Vinland Saga does like the talk no jutsu stuff best and better than most other anime, like than Naruto and other than like better than Naruto and other shows in anime. I feel like Vinland and Mob Psycho definitely stand the test of time when it comes to the talk no jutsu. You know, so yeah. I just find the whole you're our sibling Lila, you can't kill Five Lila. I found that to be kind of cringy, to be honest with you. I found that to be kind of out of place for me. I'm not saying it's bad writing. I just didn't like that. Back to the positives. Ben's death. This I did not expect to cry during this nigga's. I did not expect to cry, but just the overwhelming thoughts that I was thinking of when I saw this moment between him and Vanya, man, like it was so surreal. Because this is the first time that Ben is actually this is the first time that Ben is actually interacting with one of his siblings other than Klaus, of course. And Ben just had, possibly the best day of his life. Like, yeah, Ben just had the best day of his life, like with Jill in the dirt and that. And the whole scene with him in Klaus's body just made me laugh. I'm trying to think of what else, man. The hug that Vanya had with her and Ben, I thought was very emotional. Again, like I said in my season one review, it made me cry. It had me wiping tears from my eyes to my forearm, and I couldn't help myself. And like under the right circumstances, you can get viewers like myself to cry. And I saw like a lot of reviews saying that a lot of other fans cried, and I honestly really like that. And moments like that is what can really make the Umbrella Academy stand out from other shows, man. Outside of the well character interactions and the comedy, and the action from time to time. Um, what else, man? Diego and Lila. I don't really like Lila like that. I hate how she manipulates this nigga. I don't really like the way that she manipulates Diego. I don't like the way that she treats Diego half the time. That's just me. I like that she fell in love with him though, and I like that she saw something in him, and that her time with Diego has kind of impacted her, and it really threw me for a loop the fact that Lila actually got pregnant. That Lila actually got pregnant, and the fact that she becomes a mom and she spends the first 12 years with the kid, and then Diego does. I'm getting off track here because I just finished season 3 episode 1. and I'm gonna try and watch the rest of season 3 today because I just got off of work and I don't really have anything else to do. But yeah, Allison and Ray. Out of all the new characters this season, I think the one that I love the most is Ray. And I would have liked to have seen Ray interact with the whole family because I think some of the interactions that he has with some of the characters that he meets are really funny and really like they're really funny and they're really relatable. um like the interaction with him in Diego. Because he's just like, what the hell is going on? He just shakes his hand casually. I like Ray. I like Ray. If there's any new character I like from this season, it's definitely Ray. I kind of like I like them playing into some of the aspects of the 1960s. With and again, this is something that I really like with the Umbrella Academy. Like all of these different storylines. Like it's like Pulp Fiction playing out. And that's the one thing that I like the Umbrella Academy for, because it's like Pulp Fiction, man. Like you have all these stories playing out, and then it just all comes together in like the last episode. So that's something that I really like. And I actually saw a comment, and if I saw a comment, and I'll try and put it up possibly, but I saw that someone said that this is like, I think in like a IMDb review, saying that this is like Watchmen and Pulp Fiction like had a baby or a child. Like that's what the Umbrella Academy is. And I think that's really cool. And I'm gonna have to rewatch Pulp Fiction because I haven't watched Pulp Fiction in a good bit. Like I've only seen clips of it. I have to watch the whole movie again because I remember it being such a good movie as a kid. What else, man? What else? Ben's death was really emotional. I liked the Allison and Ray thing. I liked some of the 1960s stories and how they really play into it. And I think Allison not being able to talk, at like when she first gets there, her not being able to talk is kind of symbolic with all the other blacks not having a voice, and them being referred to as the colored people and being disrespected by all of these shithead whites, basically, back in the 1960s. So I like her not being able to talk at first and her growing a voice. Like, we've seen it in many African American movies, and we've seen it, in the Nat Turner movie. We've seen it in, movies regarding other, black potential figures like MLK documentaries and movies, Rosa Parks documentaries and movies. We've seen it multiple times, but excuse me, I like the symbolism of her not being able to talk when she first gets there, and her being chased down by whites, and then she comes into this black beauty salon, and then as time goes by, she starts to get her voice back, and then she becomes defiant against them, and she sits in the store. She wants, a coffee, right, and all that. I really like Alice. Like, bro, they really did a good job on Allison this season, man. They really did a damn good job on Allison and giving her the proper spotlight. I would say a better spotlight than they gave her in season 1, to be honest with you. So I really like her character arc. I think she's definitely one of the best ones of the season. Definitely got to give credit to the actor. She does a really great job with the character. I love how she goes over the top with her rumor power. I heard a rumor when the guy is pouring pouring the coffee, and then she goes over the top, and he ends up burning his hand, and he's in it's such a cool power, and the way that she uses it and loses control over her anger and her temper is just such a good thing to see. Um, yeah. What else, man? I'm trying to think. Elliot, I didn't really give a shit about him, to be honest with you. I feel like he was just there. Like there was no real personality with him. I feel like anyone could have replaced Elliot, in my honest opinion. Um, what else, man? What else? Luther. Like I like how they're all involved and they all become I guess, like, wanted people. Yeah, excuse me. But they all become like wanted people by the end of the show, and because Luther is referred as this like as this mafia fighter, mafia underground fighter, like called King Kong. You know, Klaus started his own cult, and he's like this god to all these people, and he just he doesn't even mean to start a cult. You know, like he just starts like a cult on accident, basically. Um, Five, I think they roped him in with the JFK assassination, or they saw him use his powers possibly. I forgot what they coined five for. Diego, he was trapped at that mental asylum basically, and well, first he got arrested, then they put him in a mental asylum, so he's a wanted person for that too. Allison is, I guess, she's this black that defied, you know, the laws back then, you know, of white supremacy and all that. So for defying white supremacy, you know, she is convicted, you know, as well. And Vanya, she literally just escaped, FBI custody. So that again, that makes sense. And yeah, I think that's everybody. Yeah. I really like the handler this season. Again, like I don't really like her like I same reason I don't like Lila, but just because I don't like a villain doesn't mean that they're a bad villain. I thought the handler was handled, no pun intended. I thought she was handled very well this season. I thought her performance was much better this season than it was last season. And I like her villain arc this season and how she tries to, you know, I love how she was playing chess and manipulating people this year. Like it was really good, and I honestly think she was at the peak of her powers this season in a way, and I thought that was really good by her. Um, what else, man? What else? I'm trying to think. I think that's pretty much it. Klaus starts his own cult. Diego is immediately captured because he shows off his power by helping an old lady with her purse in the first episode because she was robbed. So he immediately gets arrested, then thrown into a mental asylum. Like I said, Allison defies the whites and their, I guess, what do you call it? Their suppression of blacks and quote unquote colored people, like they like to put it. Ben, I like how Ben was used this season too. I thought he was a little bit of an asshole when Klaus was trying to talk to Dave, and like I said, like everyone at the end of the season kind of had like a sad ending. Like it wasn't really a happy ending, you know, because they all had to go. So Allison left Ray, Vanya left Sissy because Vanya wanted, you know, Sissy to come with her, but ultimately they would have never been safe being with Vanya because they would have always had to, you know, so they would have, you know, not had a good time with Vanya, and they would have always had to be on the run and such. Five, I thought five again, like five looked like a badass this season, like much more than he did in season one. To be honest with you, like they really amped up some of these characters in the second season, and again, I feel like my liking of some of these characters this season has to do with how well they were handled more and more and through in season one. So, Diego, I found Diego to be an asshole in season one, but of course I liked him by the end of the season, and I continuously like him more and more throughout season two. I don't really like Luther because of the way he treated Vanya, like I said. But yeah, I think Luther's cool too. Um, I like the dynamic between them and Reggie and their father. I like the interaction between Diego and Grace the first time they met. I thought that was really good, really interesting. I like how Diego was on this kink, thinking that he has to save JFK, he has to stop the assassin. I don't know what the hell was happening with Reginald. Is he some sort of alien? Like I don't know anything about that yet. So we're gonna get deeper into that, and hopefully we see something in season 3 or season 4 because I'm really interested in that too. Um, Trying to think. I already went over Allison's character. I already went over Klaus and how he failed to get Dave away from the military. I like their interactions. I really did. And I like how relatable Klaus is this season. Technically, not starting the cult, but really trying to get Dave away from the military and him failing at it. And the final scene with Dave at the end of season 2 is really telling because he stops at the end of the bus and I think that was like a look of regret or possibly him waiting for Klaus, possibly maybe I don't know, but him stopping at the end of the bus and him kind of regretting him going is really dawning on him, and I would have liked to have seen that kind of affect him, but of course we're not really going to see it because we have to follow the Umbrella Academy kids. So Dave is ultimately going to meet his fate no matter what. Um, yeah, man, I think that's everything. I think I went over everything. I like the scene where Five was really good this season, man. I like the scene with where he takes out everybody at the table. Uh, I like the scene where he takes out everyone at the table. I also like the what else, man? I'm trying to think. Like I also like the way that they used the goldfish and how she just casually ate him. Again, like this is a really good season. Like if you were to tell me that season 2 was a better season, honestly, talking of like reflecting about season 2 is kind of making me like season 2 better than I like season 1. To be completely honest with you, honestly, yeah, I don't know. I'm conflicted because I really like the ending of season 1 better, but season 2 as a whole, like there's a lot of things that they do better in season 2 than they did in season 1. And season 1 was a good season too. So that's a testament to how good the writers are. But yeah, season 2, really good season. Had a lot of fun with it. Um, I wasn't really as bored in some of the scenes like I was for season 1 in the beginning portion of season 1. But really good season. Really connected with most of the characters, the main cast, of course. Yeah, man. That's really about it. Yeah.